Alright guys, we're going to get started with our clay bobblehead project. Let me show you first of all one that I've been working on. It's a chicken one here. So we're going to start off with the body, and we're going to be working on that first, and then we'll do the head, and the head will kind of sit on here. We might try some things with some wires to give it a little bit more spring while it's on top of the body there. To get started, we're going to make a slab of clay. So you're going to get a ball of clay like this, and we're going to try to make it flat by hitting it like this in a circle and going around trying to get it flat. Now I've been working on one already, so I have one ready to go here. While I was doing that, it's kind of nice once you get a little bit flatter just to kind of get it stretched by just tossing it at a little bit of an angle here, and that'll stretch it right out. Okay, so this one's ready to go. It's about the thickness of my finger, and I'm going to take a template and I am going to cut this out. Okay, I like to use a knife when I do this, one of the clay knives, and try to work on getting the clay, or getting your knife straight up and down while you do this, and try to make sure that the clay or this doesn't move around your template. All right, save these extra pieces. You'll need them a little bit later. You're going to take that off, and we're going to wrap this around this paper towel roll. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to wrap it around, and it should fit about perfect, and then we're going to smooth them together on that seam. Okay? We want to try to get rid of this seam so you don't see it at all. Okay, so just be careful, and sometimes you need to use some of the slip here. It's just water and clay mixed together to kind of loosen it up, but don't overuse the slip. It'll make it too muddy. Just a little bit will help soften it up for you. Once you have it like this, we're going to start bringing it up to a cone. As you can see with this one here that I was working on, it comes up, but we don't want it to be too sharp, so we want it to be kind of rounded on the top. So I'm just going to start bringing it all together and kind of work on pushing it, pulling it, and you might have to use again some more of that slip to just kind of bring it up and to smooth it out. Okay, so this is definitely something you need to work on for 5 to 10 minutes or so to try to get it nice and even and straight. Okay, if you have little holes formed here, you can always patch them up. You can take some more clay and you can actually put that on top. And depending on how tall you want your bobblehead to be, you can add a lot of extra clay or just a little. There will be a height limit around 6 to 7 inches though, just because we want to make sure we can fit it in the kiln. So having this inside there, you're going to work on it. Now we don't want to leave this in there, so make sure that you can get this out. Okay. If you need to put it back in there later on, you can, but we're going to try to take them out before you leave. And then again, if you need to work on it later on, we'll pop that back in there so it doesn't move around. But leave that in there for today for a little bit. But towards the end, if you have some time, we'll take them out so others can use them in the next class. All right, so we work on that to get it like this, and that's the first part. Now I was working on some sketches here for the chicken. So as you can see, I did a little side view drawing. So after I do the sketching, I know that I can, what parts I need to put on there, what do I need to make. So you can make flat pieces, and then you can attach them. Now when you attach clay to each other, you're going to use a method called scoring and slipping, or slipping and scoring. Okay, so let's say I have this here, and I make it flat, and I want to attach this to the side. Let's just say I want to add that on there. What I need to do is I'll take one of these tools that has little teeth in it, and I'm going to add a little water to it, or the slip, and I'm going to scratch it, which is also called scoring. Score it open, and then you just go back and forth on both of these, getting it nice and wet, and then it works like a glue when you attach things together. Okay? And then it will be a little bit slippery at first, but once that dries a little bit more, it'll stick together nicely. Part 2 is working on So once you have this done and you have all your details, then we're going to start working on the top part, which is a pinch pot. Okay. So do the pinch pot. If you remember from back a while back, you're going to make it into a round ball. Okay. Really work on making it round. Okay. You want to have it nice and even. Don't skip this part. Okay. And sometimes if it's not working for you, you can put a little bit of water on it, but don't put too much. It'll make it too slippery and too hard to work with. Okay? But once you have it nice and round and smooth, you're going to take your thumb and you're going to press into it. And then you're going to, so you're going to start off like this, and then you're going to turn it and pinch it. Okay? As you turn it and pinch it just a little bit each time, it'll start to make it bigger. So it's kind of like it's not being dug out, but it's just being pushed out. Okay? So I keep doing that, and that's a great start right there. And this is when you can kind of check out if it's going to work and to see the height on it. Okay? So if yours is getting too low, you could always make this a little bit taller and kind of working back and forth for this part of it. All right, guys, this is a good part now. You can get started with it, and hopefully the information will help you with your project.